G'day everybody, and today is the launch of Switch 2, and throughout the day I've been really enjoying it, but I've got a lot of accessories I'm really excited to unbox, and I've been looking at them and I've been thinking to myself, no, I need to save them when I get the opportunity to record a video. And I actually had to wait for my GameCube controller to come in, so it took a little bit longer, but I've had a lot of fun playing Mario Kart World and starting up some downloads as well. Got a little bit there going on, a lot of fun. Let's get into these accessories, because my gosh, I'm very excited to try out some of these controllers. Oh, all right. Because first off, we'll start off with the Pro Controller. And the Pro Controller, I really enjoyed using it at the Melbourne Switch 2 experience. And I always love a brand new controller when it comes to just the launch of a brand new system, but I was a little bit disappointed when I first saw the Pro Controller, thinking, oh, it's just more of the same. I guess in a lot of ways it is, but man, this thing felt amazing when I was trying it for the first time. So let's see what it feels like now that it's in my home and I get to have my very own to play with. Oh, and there we have it. And what's really cool about this, and I think just the Switch 2 itself, it's got this really nice matte finish. It's a little bit soft to the touch, feels really nice. And I think another thing that we really liked as well was these analog sticks. And I don't know how to describe them. On the podcast, I was trying to work out a way to verbalize it and better tell people that haven't experienced Nintendo Switch 2 yet, but it just feels like so smooth to play around with. And like, even when you do the sticks like that, you hear it's not like a loud clunk or like the plastic, it sounds soft, and that's honestly what it feels like. It just feels nice and responsive and feels great. One thing I do want to test is this D-pad, because the original D-pad on the Switch Pro Controller wasn't good at all. It was my least favorite D-pad of all time. So hopefully with this one, we're going to have a good D-pad, but just judging by seeing whether it registers the wrong input. As you can see, if I hold down and go left or right, you can move the whole D-pad like that. So honestly, I don't have too much faith in that, but best of luck. Let's see how we go. Another thing I'm actually looking forward to utilising a bit more is the GR and GL buttons. So each game you can customise these buttons to do any of these. So maybe you're wanting to run in Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. You don't want to hold a face button because you don't want to get your thumb off the stick. Don't want to miss out on the action. You can put it to one of these and just play like that. So pretty cool. I'm really happy that I've got this thing, and I can't wait to actually play with it. I've been playing with the Joy-Cons, and the Joy-Cons are really good. I think if you honestly want to save a bit of cash and you don't want to spend the $100 on a Pro Controller, you probably don't have to. The Joy-Cons are honestly good enough, but obviously this is a better option if you're sitting in front of the TV and you just want to sit back and enjoy yourself. This is the way to go for that. So that's the Pro Controller. Cool stuff. So I've got a lot of this rubbish. I'm going to have to just make a bit of a bin over here. There we go. With the Switch, the original Switch, I did keep a lot of the controller boxes and things, but really I do not have the room for that stuff anymore. So let's not do that. The next controller I'm really excited for is the GameCube controller, and I didn't think this was going to come in today. My tracking information said that it was still over in Melbourne. And lo and behold, someone knocked on my door. Oh, I really wasn't expecting you to come, which is a nice surprise. But this was also really exciting because this is a controller that I've wanted for a very long time. I'm a big fan of the GameCube. I'm a big fan of the GameCube controller. And even for brand new games like Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, this is going to be fantastic for if you can play it. I assume you probably can, but man, I have held it before at the thingamajig in Melbourne, the experience, but it honestly just feels like a GameCube controller, which is great. The sticks feel the same because a lot of third-party sticks you can buy for new consoles, the sticks feel a little bit meh, but I don't know, these look like GameCube controllers. I dare say Nintendo made it, so that's fair enough. But even the triggers, you can feel that spring. I don't know whether it would be analog or digital for like GameCube games themselves. There's the potential that these are actually analog triggers compared to the digital, where it is literally just a button on the Pro Controller and Joy-Con. But these ones you can like, you know, for racing games and Mario Sunshine when you're controlling the flood, really useful for that. So I wonder if like in the future, for example, if Forza Horizon comes to Nintendo Switch 2, will we be able to actually control our throttle with a GameCube controller and not a Pro Controller? I doubt it. I don't know if Nintendo's going to allow other developers to be able to utilize this for that, because this is purely like a Nintendo Switch Online controller. But cool nevertheless. I'm excited to download Smash Ultimate. Hopefully it's compatible with like, for example, other games and older Switch games, because obviously Smash Ultimate isn't getting a Switch 2 update. But man, I've wanted this controller forever, and we finally got a modern controller. But apart from that, we just got like the home screenshot, ZL, and the chat button, which I've actually been having a lot of fun with game chat today. It's been a good time. So yeah, that's the GameCube controller. I might keep the exclusive Nintendo Switch Online box a bit more intact. Don't know. Next up, we got these. My son, he's 3 years old. I thought it would be a really fun way to experience Mario Kart with him. He loves watching Mario Kart, and he can't quite grasp it just yet. But I thought putting smart steering on, auto accelerate, give him this where he can literally turn it. I don't know, might be a bit of fun. And I've never really had a Wii wheel, well, a wheel since the Wii, whereas like, you know, I quite enjoyed those back in the day. It's not my favourite way to play with motion controls, but nevertheless, it's pretty cool. So let's have a look at this. That box away. So we got two here. It's 30 bucks, so it's what, $15 Australian each. Not too bad. Yeah, you can see that's got like, you know, the buttons up here. It says Nintendo Switch 2 on the back. That's pretty cool. Not bad. Of course, we'll put the actual Joy-Cons themselves in it. I'm curious to see just how easy they go in. Very easy. very, very easy. Just, no, not quite that easy. But drop it in. That's wicked. And then we've got like the buttons there. Yeah, no, it's great. Cool. I'm looking forward to doing that. It's not even a bad way to like just give these a bit more of a like room for holding. Like considering like you just play like with normal controls this way. So that's interesting. How do you get it out? Do you just like lift it up? Yeah. There you go. So yeah, there you go. These are pretty neat. I'll be playing with my son when he's got clean hands. He doesn't get them all over my new expensive Joy-Cons. But pretty cool. All right, what other controllers we got? I actually don't think I'll open this one for this video, just for length. But I did opt to get some of these existing Nintendo Switch Online controllers because I really want to get into like retro games, and I'm kind of fussy when it comes to just like the actual controllers for the specific systems. And looking a lot into like Sega consoles and retro collecting, I'm like, all right, I want the Mega Drive controller. It'd be fun to dive into some of those games. I'm a big Nintendo man, so I would like to actually experience the dark side back in the 16-bit era. And I got the Super Nintendo controller. I did have an 8-bit Joe controller, which was like a similar sort of setup, but I thought I would just go for the actual Nintendo branded one instead. Last up for controllers, I got this from AliExpress, and I'm very curious to see what it's like. This is a shell for the Joy-Con to use as a mouse. And my experience with using a mouse for Switch at the moment, or Switch 2 at the moment, it feels fine, but it's just like, if you're playing like Metroid Prime or something, for example, when you go like that, you've got to like make sure it stays upright, just because it's so thin. And if anything, that's what's going to probably fatigue you. So I thought I'd just see what this is like, see if it's worth the $10 that I paid, $10 Australian. So yeah, see if it actually helps. So we got that one and this one. So on the bottom here, looks like it's got like a little bit of feet action going on there. And it's not magnets. So I paid $10 for it, so it's actually got to sit in there. I think like one of these, not locked in. One of these with like actual magnets where it just like locks in like these wheels. Well, these wheels are fantastic. Obviously Nintendo made. So cool, and it locks in like that. And it probably makes a little bit of a difference. Like, you know, if you're having like a longer game session, you're sat at a desk, I can see it being somewhat useful. I think it just needs to click in a little bit more here. Just don't really want to push it, because you can see that like, yeah, it's not in there correctly. So not too bad. I don't know, I don't really want to be wedging it in there too much. Yeah, so you gotta like push it in. So that's not too bad. It doesn't glide like, for example, my mouse. Like, you might be able to hear that. And my actual mouse, like, you know, it just glides a lot easier, a lot quieter. So yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend these. I don't know how often I'll be like using them. Maybe if I'm having like a actual real session, obviously I've got to play with them and like make up my own mind, but yeah, it's interesting. Where's the actual switch itself? Switch 2, we'll turn it on. When you can see here, I'm using the mouse. And yes, so yeah, you can click and drag. Yeah, it's like it's okay. It's not very comfy at all, to be honest with you. It still doesn't really solve the problem. I'll probably actually, now think about it, like, because your hand is still like up here. Like, it's not like resting. It's not flush. Like if this was flush, that would make a big difference. But otherwise, it's not that much comfy. It kind of just provides like a bit for this finger here to sit on. Yeah, and it's a little bit to get out, wriggle. But yeah, interesting idea, but yeah, I don't know if it really helps that much. So if you guys were thinking about it, I'd probably give it a miss for these specific ones. But I don't know, I'll use them and I'll see how we go going forward, because maybe I'll change my mind with a bit of use, but yeah, doesn't really feel like it's going to do what I want that to do. That's okay. All right, so they're the controllers. So we got the mouse shells, the Pro controller, and the GameCube controller. Next up, I want to do the camera. I've been looking forward to using the camera all day. I've been doing some game chats, and I haven't been showing my face. And I think it's time to show my face. So let's get this bad boy out. And man, this is gonna be, I don't know. The idea of just like talking and playing with your friends, just like a button press away, and also like it's on the platform that like provides my favorite games and the games I want to play multiplayer, like Mario Kart, like Super Smash Brothers, like Pokemon, like, you know, etc., etc. The list goes on and on. So I am all for this feature being built into the system, because like otherwise you've got to hook up a capture card and put it to your PC, probably sit at the desk unless you've got like that set up at your TV. Probably not going to happen. Certainly it hasn't for me. But yeah, with Game Chat, seems to be really good. Yeah, so this is the camera. And that's interesting. I actually, for some reason, I thought this stem was like bendy, but this is like, it's hard metal. Seems like it adjusts just up and down, which is fine. Comes with the cord here. And I assume that just plugs into the bottom there. Pretty cool. Alright. So yeah, I'll be playing around with this. I'll have footage on the channel if you want to check it out. Maybe if I'm playing with it before I actually edit this video, I'll do it then. Oh yeah, cool. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, you can, it's got a little privacy shutter. So I guess when you're not using it, you finish. Yeah, you open it, you can shut it. There you go. I didn't know I had that either. Interesting. Very interesting. We'll see how long this cord is too, because that might be an issue depending on like where your switch is. For me, mine is going to be about 1 centimeter away from my dock, so it won't be quite an issue. Pretty long cord, probably about as long as like the power cord for your Nintendo Switch 2 or even Switch 1. Plug it into the bottom here. Find it. Yep. Put on this little cable management thingy hickey. And there we go. Look at that. Beautiful. Cool. Yeah, so I'm looking forward to using the camera. I made fun of it a little bit like when it got announced, but straight away after they were showing, you know, Game Chat, I'm like, It's actually really cool how they integrate it directly into the game, because Discord isn't doing that. Like, obviously PlayStation, Xbox, PC games aren't doing that. It is purely just a voice chat communication situation. So yeah, I'm looking forward to more game chat. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's jump into some cases for this bad boy, because this bad boy is really nice and we want to keep it nice. So I got just the standard Switch case, which is pretty cool. You know, I've had these for Switch and Switch OLED. I pretty much know what I'm going to expect, but of course we get the case. We do get a screen protector. And for my Switch 1, I use this screen protector, but it's just a plastic screen protector. And I found that it made the image not as clear on Switch 1. So ever since I've been using glass screen protectors, and they've been much better. I just bought a pack of 3 off of Amazon that had like a guiding situation. I actually put it on during my unboxing on this channel, if you want to see that. But yeah, I opt for those. But yeah, of course it's better than nothing. If you get this case, you don't want to be spending more than you have to. So yeah, go and check it out. But yeah, this case was a little bit more substantial than the other ones. So you can hear, and like as far as like the form factor go, when you press it in, it doesn't like shift too much. It's got like the Nintendo logo there and the Nintendo Switch 2 logo there. And, take this little bit off here. And there we go. Got like a spot for some accessories, some game cards as well. So yeah, it's a good little case. I've always enjoyed the Nintendo branded ones. Nice and easy, sleek, not too much going on. Obviously there's 1,000 different case manufacturers you can go to and check out, but this is usually my go-to. Just simple, easy to pick up on day one with the system and go from there. But yeah, I like it very much. And I also opted to get this big old thing. So this is a Nintendo Switch 2 all-in-one case, or all-in-one carrying case. And you know, as you can see here, you can put like the dock, the grip, Pro Controller, Joy-Cons, the Switch 2 system, and a bunch of like accessories in here. And I got this because I'll just keep it sort of separate on the side, just to you know, take around and things like that. Because I got like a couple of extra power adapters and things like that. So yeah, I thought I'd just keep it for like a bit of sleek, tidy storage. And also, I did the typical YouTuber thing too, where like, oh, I can justify it. I've got to, you know, I can show it off on the YouTube channel. And there'll be someone out there who's been looking for it. You might have been clicked on this video for it. That might have paid off just for itself. So if you're here for that, leave a comment saying, yeah, I was here for the Switch all-in-one carry case. Absolutely. And not only did you get the Switch all-in-one carry case, you also got to meet me. There you go. But what have we got in here? Let's try and put everything in here, eh? Apart from the dock. I do not have the dock here. I do have an extra dock here, but not today. So what order did things go in? So I had the Pro Controller, and we take the Switch out of this case. There, that there, and what else we got? What else we put in here? Where's my grip? I've already lost the grip. No, I haven't. It'll be around here somewhere, surely. Don't know. What else can we put in here then? Instead of a grip, let's put a wheel. It's a bit too big. No, it's not. And the dock. We've got a dock here. I've got a second dock. I've got like my gaming setup, and I've also got like my desk area, and I thought it'd be good to have it here because I can stream and record gameplay, but also, especially with the mouse mode, being at my mouse pad, be really useful as well. So since I need to put a dock in here, let's unbox the dock, because why not? But yeah, I'm really happy with this. This is quite nice. This would be great just to like, you know, chuck a Switch 2 and everything in, and off to the races there. All right, let's make a bit of room here. Obviously, you know, the dock's probably the least exciting bit to look at, but if you're looking at getting a second dock, just know what you're going to get. You're going to get power adapter, 2.1 HDMI cable, and dock itself. So pretty cool. So far, like, I've done a few, most of my races have been handheld, but when I put it onto the actual TV, Switch 2 looks so good. Like, the idea of 4K Nintendo games is stunning, absolutely awesome. So let's put this dock in there. Fits in, beautiful. And then the power adapter, I believe, goes there. So don't even need to take it out of its case. I can just go in there. And then we got what, the HDMI cable, and that power cable can go in here. And like on the little page there too, it had those little rail things, but I don't have them arm's reach at the moment. So yeah, fits a fair bit of stuff. Pretty cool. Beautiful. All that. And I can be the coolest kid in the schoolyard and take my Nintendo Switch 2 wherever I want to go. Gonna fit my little mouse bits in there. I think it was a little bit hard to close before, so probably not. Yeah, it can. It just sort of, well, this is a bit higher as it is, but yeah, it'll fit. Yeah, so you can fit a fair bit of stuff in there. And you got like here for your game cards too, if you are a physical Nintendo man. So yeah, I think that pretty much brings us to the end. I do have this quad charging stand, but I don't have any other Joy-Cons to put on it, so I will leave it there for just a little bit. But yeah, that brings us to the end. Checked out the controls, everything. So if you stayed to this point of the video, thank you very much. Really do appreciate it. Really looking forward to playing a lot more Switch 2 over the months and years to come. I've been podcasting about Nintendo for 8 years, so this is a brand new generation. First time since I've been making Nintendo content, since there's been a brand new Nintendo console. So it's very exciting. So if you want more Nintendo coverage, stay here on the YouTube channel, subscribe, and check out the House of Mario Nintendo podcast. I do it with my good friend Josh, and we absolutely love talking Nintendo. It's a lot of fun. So until next time, guys, catch you later.